This is a story called Kids Be Idiots. Um, I'm um, I'm old. I'm old now. I'm in my 60s. I'm kind of old, and but I think that's old if you're a kid. You think 60? Whoa, that's old. And I'm respectable. I think I'm a respectable kind of guy. And like most of the old people, I kind of disapprove of idiots, especially young idiots. You young idiots, quit doing that. Quit being idiots. But I have a memory, and I have one of the kind of typical old guy memory. Like what happened in the last 100 meetings that I went to. I really have no idea. But if I start thinking about like seventh grade, what I was doing in seventh grade, it all comes back to me. And uh, you know, truth be told, I think I was an idiot in the seventh grade. I, I was uh, I was not good at athletics. I wasn't good at getting in fights and winning fights or anything like that. So it was kind of hard for me to distinguish myself. I was like a brainy bookworm. But brainy bookworms. Who cares about those? So my strategy was, in order to try to get people to pay attention to me and think I was cool, was I would occasionally, once in a while, I was a coward, but occasionally I would attempt to do something brave. In my mind, that meant kind of reckless. For example, I like to fall through trees. I found out I like to climb trees, and I found out I could climb to the like the top of a tree, and just let go. I'd be like in the middle of the tree, and I just let go, and I just fall right down through the center of the tree. Branches, fly, bang, 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 and usually I could catch something before I fell right out of the bottom of the tree. And man, it was kind of thrilling when I just get a little scratched up. And my friends thought, Jesus Christ, they thought that was like insane, So that was great. I did that many times. I falling through the middle of trees to thrill people, and so I got a little bit of fame for that. I remember one time. This is kind of typical. I couldn't do anything athletic, but I thought, well, maybe you could at least risk my body in some way that would be impressive. And there was like a flight of steps in our school, and we'd go up like a couple of steps and jump off, and then we'd go like two of us would do. It'd be like a challenge. I challenge you, and we go to like 4 steps up and jump down, and then 6 steps and then 8 steps, and after a while, there was nobody willing to keep playing this game except me and one other kid. He was way more athletic and good looking than me, so I was feeling really competitive, and he gave up. He was almost to the top. So there were like 2 more steps, and that's it. He was not going to do another one. What the hell? I said. I went right up to the top. Front. So from one landing, I'm trying to jump all the way down to the entire flight of steps to the next landing, and I didn't quite make it. I leapt, and I hit that very bottom step, and I turned my ankle. I sprained my ankle, and that's great. That was great. I won. Once again, I'm really brave, and kind of stupid. Well, um, oh, when we were teenagers, we were boomers, and that was all about drugs. You could prove yourself by take some acid, man. I took some acid. Woo, you were really gutsy if you did that. Well, now all of us boomers, baby boomers, we've gotten old, and we're highly respectable. But sometimes I think we worry about the current generation, the young people of today. They seem really civilized to us. They spend most of their childhood in rooms. They're wiggling their thumbs. Playing those video games. They have like fantasy adventures. But it's all very, very controlled. And if they go outdoors, they're probably participating in organized sports. Like AYSO soccer. I don't know if you know what that is, but like you have coaches, and your coaches are moms. Moms are the coaches. Nobody gets hurt. Everyone wins. Um, what are you going to say about something like that? Violence rates, I've read people kind of imagine that things are getting worse. They're actually getting better. Violence rates are just dropping all over the country. There's fewer murders, and there's fewer rapes and fewer muggings. And we're just getting really, really civilized. I think you can kind of wonder if modern teens even do stupid, brave things. Is that even happening? So I'm going to tell you a little story about my two sons. I have a son named Joe, and I have a son named David. And this happened when Joe was 16, and he had just gotten his driver's license, and David, I think, was about 13. And David, very sociable kid. He had a lot of friends over, and they were going to spend the night. And it was about 11 o'clock at night, and I was asleep. I mean, I'm getting old. I'm in bed and then asleep by 11 o'clock at night, and these boys decided, of course they planned to stay up all night down there in the basement, and they need some pizzas, they need food. So Joe says he'll take them for a ride, and he'll take him over to the pizza place. And so he and some of the boys, they get in the car. And my other son, David, he just takes forever to come out of the house. He's with this buddy named Jordan. And they just take their sweet time. So by the time they come out of the house, well, Joe is already backing out of the driveway with the other kids. And not very fast, just, kind of slow. And the other kids are like locking all the doors. So David and Jordan get out there, and they can't get in the car because they're being locked out of the car. Everybody's laughing, and David decides he will do a cool thing. I think you could call this a reckless, stupid thing. And all day long, what these boys have been doing has been making exercise videos. They've got a camcorder, and they've been going to places like Walmart and parking lots and, the top of a water tower. And they're doing exercises, and they're making this video. And, it's funny, I guess, I think. And so David, he thinks it will be hilarious if he kind of sort of does like more exercise. So what he does is he runs in front of the car, and he lays down in the street right in front of the car, and he starts doing setups. Now Joe, my other son, he's the car stopped, but he's looking over to the side. Jordan is like knocking on his window. Hey, hey, let us in, let us in. So Joe does not even see that David is gone in front of the car. Now he can't see him because David's laying in the road. So Joe, still thinking it's funny, he's kind of edging forward with the car. All of a sudden, David realizes, oh my God, Joe is like driving into David's leg now. David screams, Jordan screams, Joe, everybody's screaming, and all of a sudden Joe realizes, oh my God, and he slams on the brake, and the car kills. It's this, old car that they inherited from my mom when she died. Joe ended up with this car. He finally gets the car started. He's on top of David. He drives off. His leg, he got into David's leg with the front wheel of the car. And, everybody comes running into the house. I'm woken up, Joe ran over David, and we go to the emergency ward, and all the other kids have to go home, and x-rays. And, Joe, of course, just feels terrible about this. And it turns out, there's like a hairline fracture, and David's like, but an ACL surgery, and they tore his ACL. After that, both boys were kind of famous. I mean, everywhere we went, it was like, that's the one. His brother ran over him, or the other, that's the one who ran over his brother. I tell you, I swear, some kids would occasionally come up to Joe, and they would say, I got this sister. I hate her. I can't stand her. Would you maybe be interested in running her over? In a way, it made their reputations. In a way, I got to admit, I feel some fatherly pride when I tell this story. Chips off the old block. Kids be idiots.